Satsuki Kakeru, a young teen whose life is shrouded in mystery. Defined by an unusual right eye he keeps hidden, fearing judgment from others. But before we delve into that, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more fantastic anime recommendations. Tragedy struck early with the loss of both parents shortly after his birth. The weight of sorrow deepened when his elder sister, his only remaining family, succumbed to her own struggles, leaving Kakeru to navigate the complexities of life alone. Seeking refuge in the city's orphanage, Kakeru found a kindred spirit in Yuka. Both having endured similar hardships, they formed a profound friendship. Growing up together within the orphanage walls, they faced life's challenges hand in hand. As time passed, Kakeru and Yuka entered the city high school, stepping into a new phase of their journey. The narrative unfolds with a mysterious scene of an orange-haired lady meditating in front of a roaring fire. The flames, seemingly influenced by an unknown force, dance and reveal a fleeting silhouette. The next morning, Kakeru and Yuka share a poignant moment, gazing at the morning moon, a symbol of hope in the midst of life's uncertainties. In the quietude, Kakeru reflects on his past, remembering the tragic loss of his sister and the challenges of the orphanage. Grateful for Yuka's unwavering support, he yearns for her enduring companionship, a source of comfort in the face of life's storms. Caught in a moment of silent contemplation, Kakeru finds himself staring at Yuka, who notices and responds with a warm smile. Curious, she prods him, asking what's on his mind, but Kakeru, unable to articulate his thoughts, remains silent. Undeterred, Yuka stands up, urging Kakeru to join her on the walk home. Meanwhile, a lady with white hair and a cat in tow, along with an index book in her hand, approaches Kakeru's high school. The duo, Kakeru and Yuka, reaches the school entrance, where they encounter their friends, the mischievous Tadashi and Kaori. Tadashi teases Kakeru and Yuka with suggestive remarks, prompting Kaori to step in and give him a stern rebuke for his inappropriate behavior. Amidst the playful banter, the four friends decide to head to the supermarket. Asu, enticed by an ongoing sale. Kaori invites Yuka to join them, but Kakeru, uncomfortable with crowded spaces, initially declines. However, realizing he might be depriving Yuka of a rare opportunity, he musters the courage to ask her to accompany them. On their way to Asu, they cross a suspended bridge, and at one point, something extraordinary happens. Kakeru and Yuka feel a sudden numbness and find themselves transported an alternate dimension with a crimson sky and a dimly lit moon. The surroundings are eerie, bathed in red and gore. Despite Yuka's fear, Kakeru, keeping his composure, checks their surroundings. Taking Yuka to her house in this alternate dimension, they discover nothing unusual. Venturing to the streets in search of answers, they are attacked by black demons, helpless without support. Kakeru and Yuka, bracing for the worst, find themselves back in their real world, garnering puzzled looks from bystanders. That night, Kakeru peacefully sleeps, but a nightmare jolts him awake. To his surprise, he finds Yuka by his side, unable to sleep due to lingering fear from their harrowing experience. The night holds an unspoken connection between them as they navigate the challenges of their shared ordeal. Playfully joking around, Yuka accompanies Kakeru to school. However, as they approach the school, Yuka experiences a tingling sensation, prompting her to stop. Kakeru brings her back to reality, escorting her to class before making a promise to take care of her should anything happen. Tadashi and Kaori, already present, scold Kakeru for making a girl cry and caution him against such actions in the future. In class, the new transfer student from Italy, who had been spying on Kakeru, Shiori, is introduced. After class, she ignores the curiosity of others and approaches Kakeru with a casual greeting, almost as if she had a particular interest in him. Yuka, feeling overwhelmed, faints, interrupting their conversation. Kakeru carries her to the clinic, where, on their way, they encounter a bully whom Kakeru chooses to ignore. Fortunately, the nurse attributes Yuka's condition to exhaustion, assuring that she'll be fine after some rest. As Kakeru prepares to leave, the nurse inquires about the eye patch on his right eye, but he brushes off the question. The nurse, curious, later asks Yuka if she's dating Kakeru, leaving her embarrassed. On the rooftop, the orange-haired girl gazes into the sky, hinting at an anticipation for something to unfold. Kakeru, returning to normal, escorts Yuka back to the supermarket, unaware of the person following them. Despite the initial unease, Kakeru ensures Yuka has a good time. As they approach the same bridge that transported them to the other world, Yuka suggests taking another route. Kakeru leads her to the train station, and they take the subway. Yuka enjoys her time, acquiring toys and things for herself and Kakeru. After a break in the park, Yuka requests Kakeru to lay his head on her thighs, initially refusing but eventually finding it soothing. During this moment, Kakeru senses something and, upon getting up, spots his sister's ghost in front of them. In an instant, they find themselves back in the alternate world, with demons reappearing. This time, the boss of the demons and his assistant join in, observing the unfolding events around Kakeru. As the demons close in on Kakeru and Yuka, the orange-haired girl, wielding her lightning sword, appears just in the nick of time. Utilizing the electrifying power of her sword, she skillfully takes down all the demons threatening Kakeru and Yuka. With the danger averted, she walks over to them, but her attention is diverted by a strange sound. Misuzu urges Kakeru and Yuka to follow her to safety, granting them a brief view of the unusual pillars of light emerging from the center of the alternate dimension. Rushing to catch up with Misuzu, they reach a safe spot, where they express their gratitude to her. Curious, they inquire about her real name, and she introduces herself as Misuzu. She shares some insights about the alternate dimension they find themselves in, revealing it was created by an unknown person. They were chosen for possessing a unique power. Kakeru modestly denies having anything special about them, but before Misuzu can continue, another sound interrupts them. Misuzu follows the source of the sound to the center of the alternate dimension, prompting her decision to investigate. Kakeru and Yuka express their eagerness to join her, but Misuzu hesitates, wary of putting them in harm's way. Suddenly, more demons attack, and Misuzu swiftly fends them off, allowing Kakeru and Yuka to stand by her side. Together, they head towards the source of the mysterious sound. Upon reaching the center, Misuzu, cautious, attempts to get Kakeru and Yuka to hide. However, determined to face whatever lies ahead, they insist on staying with her. As they continue their journey, Kakeru's right eye reacts to something in the region, causing him to pause and investigate further. After Kakeru gets up and attempts to keep moving, it's too late, as the boss's assistant, Superbia, is already present. Superbia forbids them from progressing, but when Misuzu challenges her, a confrontation ensues. Misuzu uses a magic spell to teleport herself and the others to the intersection at the core of the alternate dimension. There, they discover a lovely maiden with white hair named Lysette imprisoned in a crystal. Lysette begs for release, explaining that she's being manipulated against her will. Misuzu warns Kakeru not to be swayed by her sweet voice, as there is something in her subconscious causing havoc. Despite Misuzu's warning, Yuka pleads with her to free Lysette from her pain. Before they can act, the actual boss and his associates materialize in the same room. Misuzu attempts to use her magic, but it fails in the room. The boss forbids them from existing and orders Superbia to destroy Kakeru. As Superbia leaps into action, the Red Knight abruptly ends, teleporting Kakeru, Misuzu, and Yuka back to the normal world. They find themselves in a cafe, where they freshen up and discuss their recent ordeal. Misuzu reveals that she found 3 other students in the Red Knight fighting demons like her. Kakeru and Yuka express interest in meeting them, and Misuzu promises to introduce them once they return to school. During the conversation, Kakeru asks Misuzu the question if he has any special power within him. Considering the boss's specific interest in removing him, Misuzu urges Kakeru to take off his eye patch. He does so, revealing his yellow right eye, which strangely tingles Misuzu. She hastily tells him to put his eye patch back on. Later that evening, Kakeru is observed strolling through the streets with Yuka, pondering the mysteries of his hidden power. Yuka, feeling a bit shy, holds Kakeru's hand and earnestly pleads with him not to ever leave her side. Kakeru promises to always be there for her, reassuring her no matter what. Just then, their friends Kaori and Tadashi show up to greet them. In the midst of the usual commotion, Kakeru notices Shiori standing in the distance. At first, she resembles his deceased sister, but upon closer inspection, he realizes it's Shiori. Kaori and Shiori get into a fight, prompting Kakeru to leave with Yuka. Later on, they enter a store and unexpectedly find another classmate, Yuko, working as a receptionist. After introductions, Yuko serves them coffee and heals a cut on her hand. Kakeru and his friends eventually return home as night falls. Yuka hugs Kakeru before entering her house, expressing her hope that they can be together forever. However, Kakeru is preoccupied with worries about his power. At home, Kakeru experiences another nightmare involving a wounded soldier. He wakes up early the next morning, returning to school. In the library, Kakeru discovers a peculiar book calling to him. Yuka joins him, providing a momentary distraction. Kakeru takes out the book and finds his sister's face staring back at him. Hurrying to the rear of the bookshelf to catch a glimpse of his sister, he realizes the ghost is gone. Instead, he finds a note indicating that he summoned the demon. After reading the note, Kakeru's right eye starts to ache. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more thrilling adventures. Until next time.